Oh, good morning. Yes, it's good morning. I have not had lunch yet. It's 11, just after 11. The dentist changed my appointment to earlier in the day, at least they asked. It's like, is it okay if we go earlier? I'm like, sure, earlier is better. So they actually moved it early enough that I think I can get loaded today at Klesnikov. That put me about half a day earlier than I thought I would be. So if I can get loaded at Klesnikov, now this might not work out. I'm gonna have to try to get unloaded tomorrow before it's a 2-drop load in, I can't remember where, but greater Vancouver area. 2 different hardware stores. Actually, I think one's a reload, but nonetheless, see if I can get unloaded at those locations before they close tomorrow, and this weather will be the deciding factor. So we'll see. Hopefully I'm not stuck somewhere on a road closure again. But we're on Highway 97 southbound Vastu Lake, just leaving home. Like, let's shoot a video right at noon. And apparently we're having a pretty good snowstorm here. Yeah, it was snowing pretty good at home as well, so. Passes are supposed to get, what, 70 centimeters? Paulton is supposed to get 70 centimeters, something like that. So, it'll be interesting. Right. Manual. I better be downshifting. Driving automatic all last week. I'm gonna forget to downshift. I've got the heat turned all the way up. Windows open. So I want to keep the windshield warm in this kind of slushy snow. Looked online, the chain up lights are on for Paulson Pass, so it looks like I will be chaining up at least twice today. Take our time here around these corners. Be honest, I like the layout of cruise control and the gauges and stuff better in the Kenworth than the Peterbilt. Although most of the stuff is the same switches and stuff. It's just different layout. I think I liked it better in the Kenworth. Like the radio controls, the heat controls, the way cruise control, Jake brakes, all my lockers, headlights, everything, all the switches just seem to have a better layout in the Kenworth than in the Peterbilt. And the Kenworth was definitely better layout than the International. know you guys ask for reviews on the Peterbilt and stuff like that. I'm not good at reviews, but it's a decent truck. So comparing Kenworth, Peterbilt, and International, I would say the Peterbilt's got the roughest ride, the loudest ride. The walls are more tinny. The walls seem a lot more cold comes through them. So as far as that, the Peterbilt is probably the worst. But it's definitely got a better layout on where the hazard lights are and stuff like that than the International. Even the air horn is easy access compared to the International. It's a decent truck, but I wouldn't go buy a Peterbilt. I would by far prefer the Kenworth over the Peterbilt. As far as comfort, the Kenworth definitely had more legroom. The International has even more. The International is definitely the roomiest out of the three. Kenworth has a much better layout in the back of the bunk. This is a smaller bunk in this truck, so I can't compare Peterbilt bunk. Other than when I've walked in and toured, and I like the Kenworth bunk much better than the Peterbilt. And I definitely like a lot of things about the International better too. The way the seat works and just the comfort of the ride. The International is by far the more comfortable ride, smoother ride, quieter ride, just overall comfortable. Kenworth has a better fridge in the back, better table, stuff like that. Sounds like I'll be getting the Kenworth 990. If so, it'll have the same kind of layout in the back as the truck that I was running last week. Kind of the same layout. There's obviously the differences. And I think I would quite like that layout. It was a good layout. But I think the International is more comfortable in the front seat. The International has terrible layout of buttons and stuff like that. Like the air horn is one big thing. It's a button on the steering column. And good luck trying to find that button on the steering, not the column, the steering wheel. Good luck trying to find that button on the steering wheel instead of just reaching up and pulling the air horn. If there's somebody making a stupid move, emergency, it's easier just to reach up and pull that than find the button. Where's that button? By that time, it's too late and you couldn't warn the other driver. There's always the electric horn. The other thing is honestly unsafe the way the International has it is the four-way flashers. You have to reach through the steering wheel to click it on. The four-way flashers are on the top of the steering column. So you have to reach through the steering wheel. Good luck trying to do that while you're doing corners. And us running in the mountains, got four-way flashers on a lot. So if I had to pick a truck out of those three, I don't know, I would probably, it's really close. I'd probably go with the International, but I really want to try the Kenworth 990 for a couple of years, and then I'll decide if I want to go back to the International or keep running Kenworth. One thing that Peterbilt and Kenworth have over International, even the gauges and stuff like that, the information the LED screen gives you on the dashboard, just very handy. For those of you who don't know, Peterbilt and Kenworth are owned by PACCAR. So they're owned by the same company. They're very different trucks, but a lot of the switches and stuff like that look the same. Use a lot of the same hardware in the trucks, but they're very different trucks. The Peterbilt's definitely a lot rougher of a ride than the Kenworth. And the International is better than all the other, than Kenworth or Peterbilt. So I'd say in the seat, I was the most comfortable in a International, but Kenworth was very close second. In the bunk, I was the most comfortable in a Kenworth. See, it went into automatic for 1 week and I'm rusty in the manual already. We got lots of fuel, got a decent amount of DEF. I think, where's this gauge right there? Yeah, we're well over half on DEF. So we'll just head to Klestikov, get loaded, and then we'll decide where we want to fuel up on the way back. Probably Osoyoos on the way back to the beach. Downtown Oliver. Always go way under the speed limit through here. It's just too tight, too narrow to do 50. Once you get through here past the A&W, then you can get up to speed limit. In the winter it's not as big of a deal, but in the summer there's a lot of pedestrians. Oliver and Osoyoos even more so. Gotta really take your time, watch those pedestrians. Apparently, gotta watch for the pedestrians now as well. Let's snap our fingers and we'll be in Osoyoos. You guys snapping? Not working yet. Okay, somebody's got to snap. while to snap.
In 400 meters, turn right on Crow's Nest Highway.
We're in Oliver. Someone did a good job, thank you. What are you guys doing? That is not 2 lanes.
Turn right on Crow's Nest Highway. Continue on the road.
Alright, let's climb Anarchist. Looks like it might be a little foggy up there. And I did put that mount on this truck, so hopefully we get no more head cam until I do another chain up video or loading video or tarping video, something like that. I think that's where the head cam becomes more useful. Closing 40 to 70% off. Yeah, Rona bought a whole bunch of small hardware stores, and they keep buying them over the years. This one's only been here a couple of years, and obviously they couldn't provide the same service as the small mom and pop hardware store could do. So they've bought a lot of these mom and pop hardware stores in small towns. Some of them are doing really well. Other ones have not been able to maintain. So some of them are closing. Kind of sad. Yeah, I got this mom and pop hardware store. Big chain comes in and buys them out and decides it's not enough profit for them to stay there. They shut down, and now the town has one less hardware store. Although there is a competitor in town, Home Hardware. There might be even more, but the Home Hardware I know for sure. So I'm sure they'll do better because of the store closure. to get hungry. Once we get to the top, I guess it's more, once we get to Rock Creek, I'll make myself some lunch. I got a big billboard here. Home Hardware now open. They moved to a new location on the airport on the other side of town. And expanded, really good timing. Expand your hardware store while another one's closing. Definitely less snow here in Osoyoos, but I think that's going to change as we climb over the top of this, and when we hit Paulson it'll be dark by then, but that's going to be a slippery, fun snow fest, so should be an interesting evening. And then we'll see how far back I can make it this way. I think I'll make it to Osoyoos for sure. I'm kind of hoping Princeton, but I haven't done the math as far as hours and stuff like that goes, so I'm not sure. Right now my goal is just to get to Castlegar and get loaded. No tarp load, that's nice. Don't have to tarp in this mess. That's always a bonus. Told dispatch I'd get there at 4. My GPS right now says 3:07. I figure that gives me enough time to do the chain up and stuff and still have an accurate ETA. So, should be there I'm guessing on 3:30, but we'll see how bad the roads are. If they're really bad, I'll just have to drive even slower, and if they're really bad, I'll chain up for the Pulse and I'll just keep the chains on, go down into Castlegar, go north to Thrums, get loaded, keep the chains on, turn around and drive back. Only have to chain up once that way. We'll see how bad the conditions are. If they're decent, I'll take the chains off because I can drive quicker. If the road conditions are so poor that I don't want to drive quicker, which might be, then there's no point in taking the chains off. My spot is flashing red. The batteries must be almost dead on it. That's okay. I've got a charge set somewhere in the back. It is a mess in there right now because I just threw everything from the other truck into the bunk. So I'm going to need half an hour just to reorganize everything and put things kind of in the place they belong. Got that half gear downshift right for once. I'm gonna need more than just half a gear. I predict these roads are going to be slippery when I come back, coming down the hill. definitely have to keep that in mind. Really take my time going down hills. If you're coming downhill and all of a sudden you feel an icy spot, you can't slow down. So you better be at slow enough speed so you know you can make these hairpins. Just in case the spot is icy, because you can't slow down. You better be at a speed that you know you can make the corner. Same with going uphill. You pick a gear that you know you can make the whole hill without shifting. Because if it's slippery and you make a shift, that could be enough to spin you out. I don't know how I was signaling there. My brain said I was doing a corner, so I turned the signal lights on. Funny. It says 3 lanes, but they're very narrow lanes. You're gonna speed up. Like you're past me. Merge a little early. Don't want to have a steer tire in that snow on the top there. Watching some trucking videos, other drivers, and I saw a lot of the complaints say that we drive too fast. It's like, wait, that's just a illusion thing from the camera. Like I watched some of the other truck videos, it's like they did nothing wrong. I'm like rewatch them while reading the comments about this guy's asking for it, driving too fast. Watch the video, I'm like, other cars are passing him way faster than he's driving. He's doing everything right. It's just the illusion of the camera. So I've had a couple complaints about that. It's like, or I've had a comment, this guy's asking for it on my videos. I'm like, why am I asking for it? Driving way too fast. It's like, I am driving slow enough that you would be very angry if you were stuck behind me in your car. You were actually behind me instead of behind the camera, you were in a car behind me, and you would be complaining about how slow I was. Bit of a high gear there. 1300, so it's okay. I guess that's perfectly acceptable. It just feels high to me. I seem to run the RPMs too high in a manual. You gotta learn to run them a little lower. So instead of upshifting at 18 or 1900, I'm gonna try to upshift at 17. At least when I'm running empty. Yeah, running empty all the way from, so on Friday I ran empty from Vancouver to home, and now I'm running empty from home to Castlegar. It's the time of year it's hard to get loads. Luckily we got a contract with lumber mill in just north of Castlegar, and they're keeping us busy at least one way. So we're still making money. And the other nice thing is a lot of drivers go for vacation this time of year. I plan on going on vacation this time of year next year. So that way, when the market is slow, at least you have less drivers too. I think a lot of people take vacation right after Christmas, so let's cut these lines. Don't want to be in that slush. I think I'm going to ask for vacation next year, late January, I'm thinking. I had a vacation plan this March. I don't think that's going to work out. We do have another vacation planned in the summer to go to Texas, visit some family there. They moved down there, so we'll be visiting them down there for the first time. Should be fun. I intend to tour NASA down there. It'd be foggy over here, but it's clouds are around us, but the road's not foggy at all. It's kind of nice. The last couple times I've come over here, it's been really foggy, so nice not to have as much fog here. I think I'm going to have to ask for more washer fluid with weather like this. I got one truck at the brake check. Not out to the summit yet, but I'm surprised that this is still wet instead of slushy. So, I mean, there's slush on the other lane, but quite happy so far. Get as much of these miles under me as I can. Get the slushy miles under me, and then once we hit the slippery sections, I can really take my time. Looks like we got a slow car there. Oh, I think it's a mail delivery car, so. Yes, I'm looking in the mirror regularly. I'm cutting across these lines. I've said this before. In the winter, you drive in the lane that's the best. If that's in the center of the two lanes and you take up both lanes, that's what you do. If you're pretty confident that you can pull over to the side and let someone pass, I'll do that. But if I feel like I'm going to spin out if I do that and close the road down, I'll rather keep slow traffic behind me, even though they may be upset. I will pull over at a pullout and let them by, and that way I at least have new traffic behind me as often as I can when the weather is bad or anytime I'm slow. I think I'm in 18th gear for the first time today. I guess in the manual it'd be 8th high. I'm in 8th gear high, but in automatic I'd be in 18th. And I'm gonna downshift because it's getting slushy. Just half a gear. Now it's gonna be time to take our time. Corner 70, so we're gonna do at least 60. Although most people are going to try to do 100. Let's turn our engine brakes off too. And then if the roads are even slipperier, I go at least 20 to 30 under the suggested speed around the corner. But this still looks pretty grippy. I'm not sure if it's slippery underneath this, but it sure could be. So we're just gonna drive as if it is slippery underneath the snow. No need to test it out. The car in front of me is going slower too, so that's good. Rather have you guys take your time than be upside down in the ditch. Normally people are doing 130 and 140 through this section of the highway. Speed limit's 100 kilometers. Today we're doing about 80. And no, I never do 140 through this section. I do 100. Never been a big speeder. Did a little bit when I was young, just had my drivers, joined the fire department, and my speeding ended after that. I mean, I did legal speeding with the red lights going. I did speeding there, but after I saw what speed did to people and the injuries and death it caused, I was done speeding. At least they've been plowing it so far, so that's good. Hopefully they keep plowing it until I'm done my shift. I only went on duty at 10:30, but I woke up at 7 a.m. so legally by the book I could drive way through the night, past midnight, and be legal, but I know I woke up at 7 in the morning. I'm not driving past 11 p.m. Yeah, it's slippery here. Feeling a little tire spin. I don't think the power divider will lock in. No. Logging truck just pulled onto the road. See if there's more grip in this side, or more grip or